everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Penguin Nonsense. I am your host, Edith, and as we know, it is Monday again. Except right now when we're recording, obviously, right? If I look a little extra dressed, it's because we had a wedding today, and we wanted to do some early recording. Usually I try to do them like on Sundays and stuff, but we try to get some early recording done this week. So that's why I'm a little extra fancier than usual. And why this whole thing is a little bit extra, because I had to do my makeup and stuff and whatnot. But so if I look a little different in the videos, that's why. And I hope y'all like my dress. I'm kidding. But thank y'all for joining us again on another Monday. Wherever it is that you're listening to, whether you're at home, in the gym, in the car, on the way to work, I hope that it is a great start of the day. Alright, so without making this any longer, let's get on to our first story of the day. Our first story comes from all the way in Paris. I'm still refusing to talk about the whole Israel thing. So it might be a while before we even get that story. I still think it's too tragic to talk about. So I try to find other stories that we can talk about. There still are a little rough, but I feel like that's a whole topic separate, you know? Our prayers are out to them and that kind of stuff. But our first story is from the Louvre Museum and the Versailles Palace evacuated after bomb threats with France on alert. The article goes, the Louvre Museum in Paris and Versailles Palace evacuated visitors and staff Saturday after receiving bomb threats. The government has put France on high security alert after a fatal school stabbing, by a suspected extremist. The Louvre Communication Service said no one was hurt and no incident was reported. Paris police said officers searched the museum after it received the written bomb threats. The former royal palace at Versailles also received bomb threats, a national police spokesperson said. The palace, its sprawling gardens were being evacuated while police examined the area, said the spokesperson. The French government raised the threat alert level and is deploying 7,000 troops to increase security after Friday's school attack. French authorities say a former student suspected of Islamic radicalization killed a teacher and wounded 3 other people before being captured. The government is also concerned about the fallout in France from the war between the Israel and Hamas. So, thankfully, nothing bad happened. Thankfully, it was just threats. Thankfully, there's no injuries, no one got hurt, and they're okay. But it's crazy to think that we already have enough bad problems going on in the world to just keep adding to these. And like I've said before in my videos, things are going to get worse, and there's not much we can do about it, but hope that any sufferment that is suffer isn't long lasting. So I am so glad that everything turned out fine, that these people weren't hurt, that they got everybody evacuated safely. And the whole other story about the person, the fatal school stabbing, that happened to be another article, and I didn't get to read the article, but I had seen it while I was trying to find like stories for y'all. And so that whole school attack was surprising to me, because we listen or we hear about school shootings here in America often, and which is sad because I remember going to school and this wasn't a thing. Like if we were ever on lockdown, it was because somewhere around our area there was somebody mysterious walking, that kind of stuff. But it was never because there was an active shooter or anything like that. So it really saddens me that it has become a common thing that our children are in danger all the time, that we can't even send them to the one place where we thought was safe for them. We can't even send them there anymore because it's all of a sudden not safe anymore, you know? And it hurts me. It hurts to see our kids have to go through that because they shouldn't have to. They should be knowing that the schools that they are going to, they're going to be safe. It's the one place that when you were young and if you were going through troubles at home, you knew probably school was your safe space. And so it sucks that now they can't even have that. And so I don't know the behind story of what happened at this school. The person who got stabbed, I believe, was the teacher. If I remember reading the article title right, I think it was the teacher who got stabbed. I think 3 students were injured, but don't quote me on that. But definitely do some research and like find the story yourselves. But I believe that's what had happened, and they think it might have been like something that was related to like an extremist thing. So once again, I hate that sometimes we ourselves go to extremes of taking a side of something, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, or whatever it may be. And sadly, we take it out against people that absolutely had nothing to do with anything that we were thinking. And I hate that this has to happen. I really do. And I feel like any normal, sane person also hates it too. Hates that we have to go through this. So there's not much to say about that one. It's just sad, but it is news. And our prayers do go out that these bomb threats don't happen again. And if they do, that they end up being false again. So our best of wishes to France or Paris. So I'm glad everything is okay and nobody was hurt besides the whole school thing. So leave your comments if you have anything to say about that one. And if y'all heard that it was something else, that maybe they tried to rob something and the threats were just false in order to rob it or something like that. Do y'all have theories of why this happened? Or do y'all think that really it's getting scarier and these bomb threats will eventually happen and it might just not happen that day? So theories are always welcome. But I really hope that nothing happens to them. So on to our next story of the day. Oh, one of our hermit crabs has fallen into the water. And my hermit crabs have been really active lately. I think they came out back from their molting stage. So they had gone into hiding for a little bit, which usually means that they've gone to molt. And they just recently resurfaced like a couple weeks ago. And so they've been really active, and right now then they're just fighting over getting into the water bowl. So it's just, I happened to see it at the corner of my eye. He just went bloop into the water bowl. But he's fine. He's getting out. But yeah, that's just a little side note. Love my hermit crabs. On to our second story of the day. Our second story is one that we are bringing personally. And because we thought it would be a funny story, but also kind of like one from just original story. Because as y'all can tell, and I already told you at the beginning of the video, we had a wedding today. So our question is, would it be an asshole move to ask for your money back from a vendor? And the only reason why we have this story is because during the wedding we have 2 friends who got married today, and their wedding was just absolutely lovely. It was outside. It was raining today, but overall the rain stopped when they were getting married. So I think it was just God's way of saying this is meant to be. I'm gonna clear it up for y'all. Y'all are gonna have your day. So, it was lovely, and the DJ didn't show up on time. So we have where the bridal party is trying to wait it out and see if they can get maybe the DJ there before they start the ceremony. So they have their song to walk down the aisle and stuff like that. And sadly, the DJ does not show up. So thankfully, the bride's brother knows how to play the guitar, and they had a guitar around, and so he ends up playing the guitar for them as they're walking down the aisle. It was still very beautiful, and like we were waiting. The bride probably doesn't know, and I hope somebody recorded it and sent it to her. While the brother was playing his guitar, they broke out in song. And so I thought it was just really beautiful that the whole crowd was like breaking out in song, and we were all just trying to make the best experience out of this that we could, right? It was quite beautiful. It was a nice, beautiful Christian wedding. And so all of a sudden, we get through everything. We go over to the cocktail hour, and then we go over to eat, and we're sitting there and we're waiting. And then finally, like, honestly, like 30 minutes later or something, maybe, if even a little bit more, the DJ finally shows up. And so we're like, oh, hey, the DJ finally showed up, right? Mind you, this was a very, very small time wedding. It was from 2 to 6, and that was it. So me and Jose are like, dang, like, that's some short time, the DJ's gonna be here. So then the DJ starts, and mind you, this is a Christian wedding, okay? And he starts connecting his speakers and everything. Like, he takes down his whole system and start plugging everything. And all of a sudden, he starts playing like reggaeton for those people who do speak Spanish. And it's like, kind of like, I guess, I don't know how you would spell reggaeton or say reggaeton in English, but y'all know Bad Bunny, his music, his type of music. So that kind of music. And like I said already, this is a Christian party. So the groom goes out and tells him that, hey, we don't want that kind of music. And we asked if y'all could play some like classical music, kind of like a fancy dinner where, when you're at a fancy dinner, they have like the classical music in the background, that kind of stuff. And so it ends up being that the guy was like, okay, yeah, sure. And so he starts playing some softer music, and it's just instrumental, and it's going fine. And then finally we get up to get our food and all that stuff, and we come back to sit down, and out of nowhere the guy just starts playing like more worldly music. And this one's more like slow down. It's more like a ballad, but it's still like not Christian music. And so like we're all like, oh man, like, and so the groom goes back up there and tells him, I guess we can't hear what he said, but he tells the guy, hey, like, you need, and all we see is the groom like walking out, and he's just shaking his head like, I'm done with this DJ, because the guy is still playing it. He's not stopping it. And so finally, like, I guess it took the guy a couple of minutes, and he finally changes the music back to like classical music. And he finally like leaves it. And then like the lady was trying to give a speech whenever they were gonna have their toast, and the guy's microphone from the DJ is like, it's not working. He keeps having to like fix stuff so they can get the microphone to work. By the time that they got the microphone to work, like, the lady was kind of just fed up about it. That she was just like, she just gave a small toast, and I loved the bride and the groom because they were so calm. Like, honestly, I would have just been so pissed. But they were more than just like it is what it is. We'll let it go. They're not going to give it any worry to it. They made the best of their day, and I love that. I love that about them. They're very positive people. And so, but yeah, this like TJ is just not getting it together. And so finally, like the maid of honor, she does her speech, and the brother, which was the best man, he does his speech. And thankfully, theirs went pretty okay-ish for the most part. The microphone didn't break out as much, but they did have to stand at a certain position for the microphone to work. And then, like, okay, if y'all know me, y'all know that I like to try to use my Spanish just as much as I like to use my English. And, like, even though sometimes I struggle to translate them, I know that I look like a nopal, which translates to I look like a cactus. I have the whole Mexican in my face. Like, you can't look at me and not tell that I am Mexican. And I've always felt bad that if you look like one, you should know how to speak both of your languages. I know that some people might come at me and be like, oh, well, not everybody can speak both languages, blah, blah, blah. If you had the opportunity, your parents knew English and Spanish, you should be able to speak English and Spanish. That is all I'm saying. But that is my personal thing. And this guy, he has a full-on accent, this DJ, when he's speaking English. And I'm like, he starts talking how, they're about to cut the cake and stuff like that. But he doesn't say it in Spanish. And I'm like, there is plenty of Hispanic people at this wedding. Yes, there was a lot of Americans, but there was also Hispanic people at this wedding. And I'm like, you can't tell me you have that, like, whole cactus in your face and not know you didn't just say that in Spanish. Like, what in the world? I told Jose I was pretty mad about that because, like, I feel like you can't look like one and all of a sudden not know that you're Spanish, but okay. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And then he doesn't announce when they're like done eating their cake. He didn't go like, oh, give it up, you guys, for, the bride and the groom or something like that. Everybody give a round of applause. And so we're all just kind of like, and then the groom was the one who was like, okay, guys. And then we all just started cheering, like this DJ, I swear he was pissing me off. And I told Jose, I was like, you text the groom and you tell him that if we need to go beat up this DJ, we will do it. I would throw hands for them because I was just so mad. And like, I hate that. Like, I hate that. I really hope that they don't end up getting taken advantage of. And I really hope that they do get their money back. And so even when they did the exit, you think like through the microphone, they would have been like, okay, guys, give it up one last time for Mrs. and Mr. And, have let them, be able to hear it through the speakers and stuff. He didn't even do that. This DJ was he was something else. And so I was telling Jose, I was like, they better get their money back. So do y'all think it's an a-hole-ish move for them to ask their money back? Because that is my story for the day. That is am I the a-hole for wanting my money back? So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think on the comments. Let me know if you guys agree that y'all think that they should be getting their money back. As I told Jose, I was like, what he did, nah. I really hope that they pay him $5 if even. I'll even consider giving him 20 because he literally didn't do very well. And so I really hope they didn't pay a lot for that one. And like I said, I want them to get their money back. They deserve it. They're a great couple. They're great people. They're the sorry, I don't know why my phone keeps going off, you guys. I thought I put it on silence. But they're both each very, very nice people. One of the few nicest people that you'll truly meet. We don't get to meet a lot of nice people in this world, but they are just both very lovely. and I think they deserve better. They really did. But they made the best of it, and we still enjoyed ourselves. We were there for them. We were happy that they were happy. We were happy that we were getting to see them getting married. That, after all these years, seeing them be a couple and taking this big step in their life. And who knows? Maybe kids will come next. Who knows? And just getting to see every step of the way, I think it's really great. So our best of luck to the happy new married couple. Out of respect, that's why I'm trying to keep their names out of it. But definitely, best of wishes to them. And like I said, let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Have y'all ever had something similar happen to y'all? Did y'all get your money back? Just let me know how things went or what y'all think these people should be doing. But I'm really willing to throw hands for these people. So, on to our last story of the day. It's over. Oh. So this one was a happy little cute story. I love sharing animal stories with y'all. So this one is about an endangered species, and I know sometimes I bring y'all a few stories of endangered species, and this is another one, just because I feel like there's so many that are out there that we're losing very, very slowly or very, very fast, and it sucks that all of a sudden we had them and now we don't, and maybe we don't get to see them as often, but it still sucks. It's just this whole entire animal race is just being wiped out like that, so it really makes me happy when I hear about that certain numbers are coming back and that kind of stuff. So this is one of those stories to end our day with. It says, Sumatran rhino's birth is rare, good news for species sliding into extinction. On September 30th, the Indonesian government announced the birth of a female calf at the Sumatra Rhino Sanctuary, bringing the number of captive Sumatran rhinos to 10. The Sumatran rhino, the smallest of the world's 5 rhino species, is arguably the world's most endangered large land mammal, depending on the status of the Sawala. Populations of the Sumatran rhinos have been plummeting for decades in the wild until most have winked out entirely. An estimate last year put the total number of all Sumatran rhinos at just 34 to 47 animals. Only one population in Gunung Lusur National Park at the northern tip of the island of Sumatra may have enough rhinos to even short-term survival. All this makes the news of the birth of another rhino even more momentous. The baby entered the world weighing 27 kilograms, 59 pounds. Sumatran rhinos are born fringed with hair and sporting googly eyes. The hair lessens as they age, but they're still the world's hairiest rhinos. Related to the extinct woolly rhino, Sumatra rhinos are the last rhino in the Dicerorhinus genus, making them only distinctly related to 4 other living rhino species. So that was a very short article. But this little Sumatran rhino, it is so cute. I will try to show you a picture of it, but that's the little rhino. Hopefully that focused well. But if not, y'all can definitely see the article. Oh, they are just adorable. Its little eyes are so cute. They really do look like googly eyes, at least in my opinion. And I'm just glad that the numbers being so low in the double digits, you guys. Double digits. That's like a little classroom. We could probably fit them all in a tiny classroom. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart when these animals start going extinct. And I know they start going extinct because either they can't feed, they can't survive, or people hunt them, that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for hunting, especially deer, because I feel like we have to keep the deer population down, and the only way we're doing it is by hunting. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for hunting, but there's certain animals that we shouldn't hunt. And I feel like that's one of them. Like, okay, you don't need anything rhinoceros related. We don't need anything elephant related. Like, for what living do we need this stuff for? You know, we can very well not need it. Like, any species that's overpopulating, fine, do that. Do all the hunting you want. But the rest of them that we don't need for survival and they're not overpopulating, then don't hunt them. I don't know how else to make that even more clear. It makes me sad, but I'm glad they got this little baby. I hope that there is 500 more of them coming later on in time. I hope that they can keep mating and keep producing more, and hopefully this rhino does not become extinct anytime soon. So that was our stories for this week. I hope that y'all enjoyed them. I hope that each of one of them gives y'all something new to talk about to your friends, family, whatever, and maybe argue it out and be like, what do you guys think about this story? Feel free to share. I don't think I've ever told y'all that, to like share this podcast and stuff, but like feel free to share. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to give constructive criticism. Not hateful criticism, please. But like, you guys know what I mean. I know that there's certain stuff I gotta get better at, like maybe reading, that kind of stuff. Sometimes my English is not perfect, but my Spanish isn't either, so I struggle with two languages, and I do my best to speak, okay? But thank y'all for being here. Thank you for dealing with my silliness, my craziness, and my speech that gets all kinds of whacked up. But thank you for being guys. Thank you for being guys. Thank you guys for being here. And I hope to see you again next Monday, and we will call this one a day. Goodbye, everybody. Be good, be safe, and love ya. Bye.